Assalamu alaikum, you're watching Views and News and I'm Faisal Rahman live from our Islamabad studios. Today we'll be actually continuing with the same topic on which we did a program yesterday. And that was about the very positive signal sent by Narendra Modi to the Prime Minister of Pakistan. And he wished him on the 23rd of March. And earlier than that, he also wished him because the Prime Minister and the First Lady, they are both suffering from COVID-19 virus. We hope and pray that they'll get well soon. And that was something which was pretty unprecedented. Though these are the SOPs, normally the diplomatic norms, I would say, they're always in place. Again, a very positive step. So where exactly are we heading? Is it a chance that both the countries have? Or is it the Biden administration that is again putting some sort of pressure on Indians to sort of step back a little, do not be hostile because of the Afghan situation and Pakistan's role out there? Or is it another plan to sort of, make sure that Pakistan shouldn't 100% go into the Russian and Chinese bloc? There are various aspects. So we'll be talking about that. Let me introduce you to our panelists. We have with us in our studio, on my right, is Adnan Qaiser Saab, Defense Analyst, Research Associate, Conference of Defense Institute, Ottawa, Canada, and relates with the armed forces and international diplomacy. Thank you so much, Adnan Qaiser Saab, for your time, sir.
My pleasure.
And we'll be talking to Hamid Khan Saab. Hamid Khan Saab is an expert on foreign affairs and international relations. Pleasure to have you, Hamid Khan Saab, in our program. And we'll also be talking to Dr. Jamil Khan, who's a former ambassador. Well, let me put the first question, sir. Whatever has been said, whatever you heard from the Indian Prime Minister, first, praying for our Prime Minister to get well soon. And secondly, sir, on the 23rd of March, he has wished the Pakistani nation. And he has extended the warm wishes and has said that we would like to have cordial relations with Pakistan. Sir, it's been how many years? Almost 74?
Yeah, 73 plus.
73 plus. And sir, every time we sort of, trust them.
We make ends meet,
Sir,
somebody moves
end. We
end.
have given them the most favored nations status so many times. What is so different this time, sir?
Well,
2021, Narendra Modi's second term, Khan Saab is the Prime Minister.
So, first of all, thank you very much. First of all, Faisal, it's always a privilege to be at your program, and I'm extremely delighted. And assalamu alaikum to all your viewers as well. So, first of all, if you see my resume, you have yourself mentioned some experience in international diplomacy. So, try to understand that these letters which the head of the government or the head of the state, they write to the other head of the governments at these occasions like Republic Day or Pakistan Day. Mm-hmm. So this is a pro forma activity. So there is nothing unique about it. Although these types of letters are sometimes used to convey a specific message, which Prime Minister Modi has done very astutely. So mind you, so first of all, this is a routine affair. This is not out of an ordinary letter, which Mr. Modi had said.
But a lot of people say that Austin Lloyd was there in India. So maybe his presence or his meetings, they have ended up resulting in this kind of a decision, sir?
So, we guys are analysts. We are paid to join the dots and analyze. So we do not know what is taking place between the governments. So there is a lot of talk about back-channel diplomacy between the two countries, external pressures and everything. And I was earlier talking to you about a paper which I had written some 2 years back, mm-hmm. When this Balakot incident took place. And I was the only one, I tell you, who had analyzed mm-hmm. This Balakot attack from a very different perspective. And my paper had been published by South Asia Journal in the United States. And I had observed that, you see, there had been a game theory between India and Pakistan that any subconventional or terrorist attack on Indian soil would result into a conventional attack or a cold start doctrine attack, mm-hmm. and Pakistan will use Hataf 9 and then subsequently. Nothing happened. So, you see, that's why I called it a choreographed corporal punishment of Pakistan by India. 17 minutes they came. They didn't destroy anything except a few trees. And the next day, Pakistan did not cross the line of control. And Abhinandan is out of the script incident for which we had to release him after one day very gracefully. So whatever is happening, try to understand, has a background. And if you recall 2 years ago, you see Saudi Arabia had pledged quite $1 billion of rupees, and the UAE.
3.2, yeah. Both the countries.
And it was in February, the same month, when this incident or Balakot attack took place. So there had been some kind of, I see as an analyst, that this had been some kind of not a conspiracy, but some kind of an agreement, a silent agreement that, you know, let the pressure which is piling up in India went out by a cross-border attack in which nothing would be destroyed from both sides. And, you know, there would be a tit-for-tat response and everything. And this is a continuation of that episode because everything had been choreographed. So whatever we are seeing now, you see, meanwhile Ladakh took place, you know, India was boasting about and had some kind of a misconception about its ability to fight a two-front war simultaneously against China as well
Despite
as...
so many claims made by General Bipin.
So unfortunately, they realized, everything dawned on them that, you know, this is beyond your capacity, beyond your capability. So get real, smell the coffee, and you know, sort out these issues. So they sorted out the issue with China. They are sorting out the issue with Pakistan as well. But you see, now, unfortunately, I see that Pakistan is again bending over backwards and giving a lot of concessions in indecent haste. Which I see, although I am no one to criticize the government's stance, but as an academic...
But they need to be cautious. You can't just trust someone like that. You need to make sure that your own interests
are safeguarded.
and they are safeguarded. Exactly.
Exactly.
And interestingly, there's another very interesting story, I would say, and because of the SCO, most likely the Indian forces would be in Pakistan and they would be trained by the Pakistani forces against the war on terror. So that is going to be another very interesting aspect.
And I had noted a few years ago that this economic platform of SCO would one day become a military agreement.
All right. Prime Minister Imran Khan very, very clearly mentioned that if India is going to take the first step or they're going to initiate the peace process between the two countries, and the major issues should be taken care of, issues like Kashmir for that matter, issues like Sir Creek, LOC, that has been taken care of, but let's see for how long. Again, you talk about the Indian aggression, you talk about the disinfo labs, you talk about the Indian hegemonic design in the region, you talk about the kind of Indian attitude that is towards Pakistan, the kind of allegations they have put on Pakistan, even in the FATF case or otherwise. So should we trust them? Or should we be careful? Or do you believe that this current situation is basically making us play on the front foot and Indians seem to be on the back foot? Your take, sir.
Well, first of all, understand that India has a very... India is in a haste to sit at the global high table. So, you know, it's doing all kinds of stuff. It is, at the same time, it is getting S-400 from Russia, as well as it is flirting with the United States in a new world order in which United States would like to create India as a hedge against China. I don't see any future of Quad, to be very frankly, very honest, because China, because, you know, these countries like Japan, Australia, and India, you know, they have been wavering. They don't have their heart and soul into this Quad to confront China. And India has recently seen, India saw it in Doklam in 2017 when there was a 70-day standoff, and now India has again seen it. So India does not stand a chance to confront China. and there is a kind of a dissonance in India whether to stand as a partner with the United States or not, because India, mind you, India has always stood as a non-aligned country as a member of the NAM, although it had close ties with the former Soviet Union, but it tries to boast.
I think the Indians have played their cards very wisely, sir. Whenever the issue regarding the foreign affairs or international affairs is concerned, sir, I think they utilized the Russians very well, the Chinese very well. Look at the bilateral trade, sir. That's in Indian favor. You talk about USA and Indian trade. That's again in the Indian favor. So you can well imagine, I mean, you can't rule that fact out, sir.
But Faisal, their Achilles heel is this Hindutva. I had written a paper in 2017.
I'll get back.
The Hindutva itch.
I'll get back to that. So last closing remarks from.
I was listening to the ambassador, and with all due respect, they are very distinguished ambassadors and diplomats who we had, and I have personally known them. They have memorized all the UN resolutions on Kashmir. They have memorized Simla Agreement, and they talked about Geneva Convention, and nothing has happened so far in the past 73 years, and nothing is going to happen. So first of all, we have to understand, I'm a military man. I know that I do not propagate a military intervention or something, but our approach on Afghanistan had been very calculated and very prudent, and that has worked in the past 2 decades. And that's the point, unless Pakistan takes a proactive action instead of being apologetic on Kashmir issue, as unfortunately we have seen in the present Islamabad, the security dialogue and everything, not going to solve Kashmir issue. We like Bosnia, like East Timor, like South Sudan, in Serbia and everything, we have seen that it is lawful under the UN Convention for an outside armed support for the indigenous movement in an oppressed.
Absolutely.
So until unless that happens, Kashmir will stay as status quo, and we will keep harping, and we are not going to reach any conclusion.
Sir, Hamid Saab, your final comment.
Yeah, Faisal, with an apology, I have to agree with Adnan Saab, and with an apology, I'll disagree a little bit with Jameel Saab, with all due respect.